Hey guys, so for this video we're about to do a game review. So the game that I'm reviewing is Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed is basically a game that is set back in a certain period of time, and basically you're an assassin in that time period. So during this game, I'm an assassin during, I think, the French Revolution or during the French time period. So starting off, basically the experience of me playing this game, it was very unorthodox. I heard about Assassin's Creed because of the parkour that you could do in the game, and that's one reason why I wanted to do Assassin's Creed, just for the parkour, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. As soon as I started playing the game, it started off with a story. So the story mode is actually very interesting to me. Sometimes I don't pay attention to the story. Now, to me, playing story-based games, I get kind of bored real quickly because there's a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of flashbacks, there's a lot of information that you have to pay attention to. Sometimes I just don't feel like going through all that and just sitting there and looking at it. Sometimes I just like to get straight to the game. One thing I do like about the story mode in the game itself is the detail within the game. So the details that are in each building, the detail that's within the characters, the facial expressions, the hair, anything that requires texture. So one thing that caught my eye was definitely the marble. So the marble that was inside the houses, inside I think the Assassin's Creed base or thing, I forgot what it's called, but it was great texture and a great detail that I paid attention to, because sometimes the light would shine off the marble and it would give off a certain gloss, and I was kind of like, yeah, this is the graphics inside this game and the detail inside this game is very, very nice. They took their time and actually put thought into that material as well. The Assassin's Creed world itself is pretty huge. For each building to have its own type of texture, and even when you're on the rooftop, each rooftop, while I was playing, while I was parkouring around, it seems to have a different type of pattern and different type of texture to it. So their ability to take their time to actually sit down and say, okay, building is going to have a certain type of texture to it, and from this building, and even on the inside, not two buildings are the same. So as big as the world is, it's the detail in each of the buildings, the grass, the people. The only thing that lacks with detail is the water. I feel like they kind of lacked on that part when it came to like water fountains or puddles or anything like that. I feel like they kind of lacked in that area, because once you touch the water, it was just like the animation was just like an automatic ripple. Well, it wasn't like an automatic ripple, but it was just kind of like a ripple, but it doesn't really seem to move, you know, with the people. One thing I could say about the character animations when they are parkouring or they are moving, it seems to be very spot on, especially heavy material that they are carrying and also the weapons that they're carrying. I feel like complements their style of play, if that makes sense. So the style of play is sneaky at the same time, but it's also kind of stiff. So I feel like it complements with people, with characters fighting slower and also quicker at some points. One thing that I did notice that I found the most interesting thing inside this game, the infographics that was at the beginning of the game. So at the beginning of the game, there's a lot of infographics, a lot of animation that has to do about telling a story. I really like that because it just shows like a digital media, graphic design type of feel to it. So I was geared towards that, and I was looking at that more than I think the game as well. So that was one of the most interesting things that I actually saw throughout the game. I feel like the game was not really bad. I feel like the game was very slow. It picks up towards the middle of the game. Once you start playing a little bit more, you get comfortable in playing the game, but I feel it doesn't fit my area. So this is more of a leisure game. I'll play this whenever I'm bored or if I just have nothing to do, but this is not a game where I can actually sit down and actually grind out the game. It's not that type of game for me. One thing that I did notice and I did like about the game is the sneakiness inside the game. So you can jump from the top of the building, jump to the ground, and basically assassinate or attack bad people within the game. And I found that to be very, very interesting because it was very cool to actually do that. You can throw smoke, you can go in there and actually I think the ability to sneak up behind people in this game is very weird. Because in most games, sneaking up behind people, sometimes they can hear you. But in this game, if you're sneaking, they can't hear you, but it seems like you're around a lot of people, so when you are attacking people, a lot of people notice besides the people that you're attacking, and I could feel like that can really cause a conflict. That's something that I did notice. But so when parkouring in the game, it actually makes it easier to move around the map instead of just running on your feet. So me jumping from building to buildings, sliding down, or even tallest point in that area and actually looking over the city, it makes it easier to travel, and it makes it easier to actually figure out where you're going, what you're doing next, and how you're going to do it. I will say there are some times where I do want to get down from like a ledge or from a wall, and it won't let me get down. It will just stay there, or it'll just keep moving back and forth, and at that point I just don't find the game very interesting because it makes me get frustrated over that delay of animation inside the game. I would say actually gives it a weak point inside the game. If I had to rate this out of the 5 stars, I'll probably give this a 3.5 stars. Just because of the delay of attacking in the game, and also just a lack of certain animations inside the game. Overall, I feel like it's a very good game to play while you're chilling, or if you have company over and they just want to do something fun. I feel like Assassin's Creed is that type of game, but I haven't played all the other Assassin's Creed, but this certain Assassin's Creed, I would give a 3.5 stars out of 5. That is it for this video, and I hope I'll catch you guys next time.